What's up, YouTube? We're back with some more Belle Automata. This is part 2 for future editor Reaper to know. Guys, we are romancing Victor. I don't know if I told you guys, if you guys saw the Twitter going live tweet, I actually backed this game in Kickstarter or something, and I actually got little cards, and I didn't remember that until like right before stream when I was taking pictures. I've got cards of like all the characters. I'm not gonna show them all to you because some of them are secret, but yeah, I love these. It was so cute. I just took them out and then lost the page that I put them in. Hi, future me! That's... Oh. Node. What was it? Yep, a week ago. Okay, so we're in the middle of romancing Victor. We got a really cute cutscene with him. And apparently there's bad paths. So that's what we're trying to avoid, if at all possible. But God knows with my luck, we will get it. After several days of being careful not to dirty my hand and knee joints too much, I prepare myself for another day with Victor. Or I should say, another day of working in the garden with Victor. Strangely, he's late, but not by too much. Crisp footsteps echo behind me as Victor approaches, a small brown parcel in hand.
Rev, I come bearing a gift.
Let me know about the sound, everyone. I blink at him in surprise.
For me?
It's an obvious question, but Victor seems to be used to it, not even blinking as he offers the parcel to me.
Certainly.
Thank you. I'll treasure it.
Oh? Without knowing what it is?
Rev just likes presents, man. Just like she just appreciates things.
Of course. You're one of my first friends here. Receiving a gift is all too kind.
Victor smiles in his way. The expression's somewhat ominous. Ominous? Ominous? That's ominous? That's hot as fuck! Excuse you? We are very different we have very, very different definitions of ominous is all I'm saying.
Strange as usual you are. In any case, open it.
Now?
I wonder what it could be, but even I would like to savor the moment if I can.
Yes, it is a gift for now, so...
Ah, something utilitarian. Sounds like a gift from Victor. I open the parcel. There... Did he get her gloves?
Gardening gloves.
Yes! Why was I expecting him to be black? Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I will say this. There is a blue character. There's a blue character that I want to romance. He's in Chronicle 3, though. This is Chronicle 1, and Belle Automata will have 3 Chronicles. He's the one I want in Chronicle 1. I don't really want to romance anyone in Chronicle 2. I like their characters, but I don't like them as romances. Chronicle 3 does have, like, a dark blue character. So don't worry! It will happen! It's just not this run. I just really like Victor this run.
Pink ones?
No!
You seem to appreciate the color, so it seemed only logical.
It made it better. Imagining Victor meticulously choosing gloves for me to wear is both touching and comical, if only for his overtly serious nature contrasting with his thoughtfulness. I smile brightly at him. Maybe I can add some small decorations to the brims around the wrists. An embroidered pearl or two wouldn't hurt after all.
I purchased the best quality I could find to protect your joints from filth. Look, they're even made from breathable plant flex material, so you needn't worry about your hands overheating in the gloves either.
Victor looks at me in earnest as I slip my hands into the gloves. They fit perfectly. Really? Really? You guys have missed the opportunity to say they fit like a glove? Really? Yo, guys, is that a missed opportunity? Chat, I feel... Missed opportunity. That's all I'm gonna say. Why would we take a simple joke like that? Because it's perfect, honestly. It's perfect. She could have thought it and then giggled, and then he'd be like, "What's so funny?" And then it gets into another thing. Don't talk to me about romance tropes and how conversations can go. You know how much fan fiction is up here? Do you know? All of it. You guys, look what you've done.
Ah, and my measurements were on point. I was sure to scan you so you would not notice.
I'm gonna ignore how creepy that can sound.
Wow, you even went that far?
I giggle at his obvious excitement.
Thank you, Victor. I'll be sure to use them well.
How good is the voice acting, by the way?
I'm pleased to know it.
He pauses.
May I ask you, though, why did you laugh?
Because I couldn't imagine what you being excited is like, but this is as obvious as it gets. Your earnest nature is pretty, well, endearing. It makes me feel like we're more similar than I initially thought.
Is that so?
It's so, yes.
Victor doesn't look amused.
I do not believe I was more excited than what would be appropriate for the situation.
I just smile to his absolute perplexion. An admittedly thrilling moment. Victor always seems so self-assured, so... For something I've said to confuse him... Wow, let me read that. Let me reread that. Victor always seems so self-assured, so... Something I've said to confuse him is both pleasant and interesting.
In any case, let's put your gift to work.
I start towards the garden, but I can feel Victor's eyes train on me with laser focus. I turn over my shoulder to look at him, tilting my head.
What is it?
Nothing, just... As usual, your observations make me pause. But enough. Let's begin our work.
When my gardening tasks are done for the day, I leave to take a break in the living room as Victor prunes the prized roses on his own. As I do, I bump into a familiar face.
Rev! Fancy meeting you here.
He's blue. I love his design. He's not a romance option for me personally. I stare at him blankly.
I live here too, Zaffer.
Oh, I know. I was just, being suave.
Are you really being suave if you have to explain it?
Zaffer considers for a moment.
Touché, Bluebird. Touché. Well, in any case, I was just going to go to my room and make some music.
He pauses for a moment, his eyes literally lighting up with excitement.
This is a perfect opportunity for you to see me in action. Why don't you join me and listen in for a spin?
A spin? That sounds interesting.
I'm still considering when Zaffer offers his hand.
I won't take no for an answer.
I hesitate. This android seems friendly enough, but I'm not sure I want to know what a spin is. He beckons again.
Well, I'm free now, so... You know what? Why not? Lead the way.
Cool, I don't have to choose. Zaffer takes me to the library, to my surprise.
Wait, here? I thought we were going to meet in your room.
Zaffer shakes his head.
This room is the only one in the house that's soundproof on the inside and the outside. Wait here while I grab my guitar.
He zips out of the room faster than I could say okay, his excitement palpable. As I wait for him to return, I look around curiously. There's plenty of books, physical ones to my great surprise. I didn't know that humans still read books. Even my former master used a slate to read during his lunch break. I reached out to touch the spine of one such book when I hear the sound of quiet musical humming over the loudspeaker. I call out, surprised.
Hello?
The humming abruptly stops, so I speak out again. This time more sure.
I know there's someone there.
This time there's an actual reply through the speaker.
You heard that?
Oh, it's baby! Oh, it's baby.
I did.
I have a feeling I know who it is, but even so I ask.
Are you the Nightmare Prince?
I am. Yes. You must be Aref. Welcome. I'm glad Roman managed to grab you before you were sold to someone less savory.
The implications of that sentence make me uncomfortable for a moment. If I was purchased on the black market as Roman said, then that's undoubtedly a true statement.
I appreciate that, but
I wonder why his voice is filtered. Is he afraid of revealing his true identity or something? I consider asking when another question occurs to me instead.
how are you here?
Intercom system. I didn't know anyone else was here, but I usually listen in on Zafir when he's practicing, so I just assumed he was alone.
You eavesdrop on Zafir?
Well, I wouldn't exactly call it eavesdropping.
I lift an eyebrow.
Does Zafir know you're listening to him?
No.
Now y'all know why I call him baby! The disembodied voice sounds so defeated that I feel compelled to comfort it.
I'm sure you have your reasons, but I'm just saying that you might want to let him know you're there instead of just lurking like that.
Oh, I just never considered it.
Right as he finishes speaking, the door slides open.
Okay, I'm back.
Zafir carries a curvy, corded plastic piece of some sort with a small box with many knobs and some sort of speaker. I scan it, momentarily distracted from my conversation by the strange items. Guitar. Noun. A stringed musical instrument with a fretted fingerboard, typically in curved sides, in 6 or 12 strings, played by plucking or strumming with the fingers, or a plectrum.
Zafir, I think there's something you should know.
Listen to this.
He just wants to play for people. Zafir strums down the guitar's fretboard with ease, a steady string of notes ascending from the strings. In my awe, the eavesdropping prince is momentarily forgotten. I didn't know such things existed.
Oh, what a sound.
My mind blanks on a word to describe the sound outside of the fact that I like it a lot.
Pretty. What a pretty series of sounds.
Zafir grins at me cheekily.
You haven't seen nothing yet, Bluebird.
He takes a moment to fiddle with the knobs on the guitar. In silence, I note his outfit, not for the first time. The hemwork is absolutely gorgeous, and I love the shade of blue used for... He must press play because the sound of wind and a low bass noise fills the room. It's followed by the building sound of a record scratching. And then my brain comes to a halt as Zafir parts his lips, his fingers speeding up and down the fretboard. The melody is dark and entrancing as Zafir begins to sing. No! Did they not get the voice actor to sing? To be fair, I would be very nervous to sing. All you did was nag and bruise. I'm not singing. Because, no. I can sing songs that I can listen and, like, copy songs that I can't sing my own. Can you guys hear the music? I'd offer solace, but you'd refuse. If there was more hurt and rejection, It's knowing our love was a misconception. I can't help but feel hypnotized as I watch his fingers strum the strings quickly, the rhythm of the music filling me with sensation I can't describe. It's like I feel the melody in and around me, and I don't know what to do. It fills me with a desire to act, but to do what? I'm not even sure. I've never experienced a feeling like this before. I can only stare wide-eyed and frozen in place as Zephyr sings sweetly, crooning the lyrics of a song. When he finishes, the guitar's last notes linger before dissipating in the air between us. I stand at once, applauding wildly.
That was the most amazing thing I've ever experienced.
Zephyr laughs.
Why, thank you. I appreciate you listening so attentively to my song. It truly is difficult to find a captive audience these days, let me tell you.
Of course. If anything, I should be the one thanking you. If it's all right, could I listen to you again sometime?
Zephyr looks surprised until his expression softens into pure delight.
Anytime, Bluebird.
They really went hard on all the facial expressions. They're just so minute, but they tell a lot, and I love it. So, Arev does identify as female, so she, her. Good question, though, Sleepy. Thank you. Imagine not singing for content. Imagine being a Drahoon. Tisk, tisk. What's up, Drahoon? The next morning, I report to the living room, wondering what Victor will have me do today.
Good morning, Aurev. Nice to see you awake before I came to get you.
It was one time! I grin sheepishly.
Well, I admit, I do have something to talk to you about.
Victor's brow lifts.
Oh?
So, the prince. I've been thinking I should give him a thank you gift for setting me free. I decided on a quilt, but I realized that I never really asked. Is there anything the young master needs?
Victor looks surprised, then smiles.
I can assure you that I take care of most of the household's needs, but if you would like to help, you can perhaps make an embroidery or some sort of decoration for his room. I still think a quilt is an excellent idea, but...
He hesitates for so long that I almost feel awkward. I prompt him, worried.
But how considerate of you to ask. There are many androids here now, but none have taken an interest in the young master as you have. I am touched on his behalf.
I smile and hold out my hand. The materials for an embroidery hoop pattern at my fingertips.
Here's a list. Do you have the supplies for that sort of thing?
Victor touches my hand for the data transfer and right away nods.
I'll be right back.
He leaves me alone, but I can't help but wonder if the prince is here in the room too. More than that, I wonder if the prince listens in as his main interaction with the world around him, and if so, why that is. But I'm not sure I'm in a position to have my questions about him answered anytime soon. I think to call out to I think to call out, but Victor returns too quickly for me to have a chance to. When Victor returns, he carries a small basket containing embroidery supplies and a notebook. He must have done his research because while the supplies speak for themselves, I'll also need a notebook to draw designs inside of. Everything fits neatly inside the small basket he must have had on hand. Because of course, he just has a basket on hand.
Here you are.
Thank you, Victor. If you don't mind, I'm going to take the time to work on this project instead of helping you for the day. Is that all right?
Victor nods.
If it is for the young master, then I am all too glad to sacrifice my time and efforts to complete the task at hand without you. So please, do.
I smile as Victor inclines his head slightly at me.
Do remember, though, if you need anything else, I am here.
I have the capacity to imagine things going worse than they usually go. My bet is the prince is going to turn out to be a droid. It's based off nothing, but I think it'd be a fun surprise. Yeah, thank you, Tombu, with the game link. Guys, please check out the game yourself if you like. This is Chronicle 1. There's gonna be 3, so 2 more. Son of a human and an android. Not sure if he's cyborg or human or android. Where's the line? Oh, guys, you should go play the game too. I embroider roses quietly on the rim of the bamboo embroidery hoop. The work silent and soothing. I love making things. Or so I think I do. I wonder for a moment at the sensation of listening to Zafar's music for the first time. Do I like what I do because it's what I know? Or are there things out there that I would love more if only I could try them? It's an unending puzzle. Victor returns to vacuum the floors, and as he does, I work silently in the noise, untangling threads in my hands, but tangling mental threads more so in my mind. I wonder if Victor feels the same way as I do. He turns off the vacuum to move it to another area, but I take the opportunity to ask him yet another question.
Hey, Victor. Do you enjoy cleaning? Or is that just what you were programmed to do?
I enjoy it, yes.
I stare down at my embroidery, every stitch as perfect as the ones I once made for my former master.
How can you tell the difference?
Victor looks at me for a long moment, considering.
I suppose it has to do with how you feel after you take action. For example, once I finish vacuuming, I feel accomplished to not have to deal with absolute filth in my household.
I see.
I don't. Not really. At least not in a way that he could relate to me. Noting my lack of response, Victor considers for a moment, as though deciding how to explain his thoughts.
After you finish creating a piece, perhaps you can measure your excitement. If it's genuine, you will be satisfied. If you want more, that is also all right. Rogues have to find their own place in the world. I hope that you find yours.
Find my own place? I consider it slowly. How do I feel about this embroidery piece? I mean, I am certainly enjoying making it, but for some reason, what comes to mind is the feeling I had when I listened to Zafar's music. I feel energized, like I've been connected to a power source right when I have a low battery.
Thank you.
I'm silent for a moment, finishing the last few stitches with ease.
There we go.
I hold it up for Victor to see.
How impressive.
Thank you.
How do you feel then? Satisfied? Delighted? Excited for more?
My nose wrinkles.
I know I'm supposed to be thinking about me, but I can't imagine being excited for more vacuuming.
Victor lifts his shoulders.
To each their own.
Again, my mind drifts to Zafar's dancing fingers.
I like making tapestries and embroidering, but there's so much out there I'd like to try.
Victor lifts an eyebrow in question.
Such as?
Such as music.
I hand Victor the embroidery.
I see.
He opens his mouth to say more, but I accidentally speak before he can.
Please iron this and give it to your young master, will you?
Absolutely. Thank you in advance.
Were you about to say something just now?
Victor presses his lips together in thought.
I was, but it is not a matter of importance. I will go as you asked and deliver it when I finish.
This is gonna be a problem if we keep cutting him off because I want him to talk more. We both head upstairs, then split into opposite directions. I make a beeline for a single room, that of the library. Right away I find it and...
Oh, Bluebird! It's nice to see you again.
Teach me.
Okay, these characters, between the feet comment in the first part, and then her being like, teach me. Just now, do it, I want to learn. Thanks for hanging out with us, Icy. Enjoy your drink. I love that there's an android human cyborgs. I think androids are fully machine, humans are humans, and cyborg is like half human, half machine. That's pulling on like my Teen Titan cyborg knowledge, honestly. Zafir stops speaking abruptly at my interruption, staring at me in surprise.
Huh? Teach you what?
How to do this?
I want him to teach me how to play the guitar Make people feel like you do. I feel like she thinks she wants to play the guitar, but in reality, she wants people to feel the way she felt watching and listening to him. You know, it's that passion thing. It's cool to try out different passions and different hobbies, but if you're just doing something, I think streaming is a great example. If you're just doing it because you're like, this is what I do to get money, versus like, hey, I want people to enjoy my content and I want to show people like games like this can be awesome kind of thing. I think make people feel like you do.
Teach me how to make people feel something the way that you do.
Sorry?
When I listened to your music, it was like something was trapped inside of me, and I wanted it to be free. If I could make a person feel the way your music made me feel.
I think of Victor and how he didn't always know how to identify what he was feeling. I could empathize with that. I wanted to experience that sensation again and identify what exactly Zafar's music made me feel. I sputter along, but Zafar lets out a loud, bright laugh.
No need to struggle any longer. I will willingly take you on.
Yay! Aw, Zafar's a cutie. We stan. We love him.
Let us begin your training, my dear pupil. But first, some reference books.
I'm really glad they didn't write him as like a snooty singer pop star kind of thing. Like he's very approachable and I'm so fucking happy. As Zafar zips away to pull books off of the shelves, I can only hear Roman's voice in my head. I'm hoping you make a home here. I don't know if this is what he meant, but I can feel the excitement tingling in my fingertips. I can't wait.
All
Aw.
Rev, wake up.
Sorry. I jolt out of bed.
Again?
Victor looks down at me.
It is late. What were you doing to run your batteries so low?
Was he worried about me?
I started learning about music from Zafar and...
Zafar?
I do not like jealousy in my IRL people, but in my game people, I'm a little okay with it. He grimaces briefly.
Excuse me for interrupting you. Please proceed with your explanation.
Okay.
We were up late talking about something incredible called music theory.
Ooh. Victor looks beyond irritated.
So he has time to discuss music theory, and yet no time to dust the library, no matter how many times I remind him.
I smile awkwardly.
I'm the one who asked him to teach me about music, so I guess that's my fault. Sorry.
No need to apologize. The defect is not your own. Zafar's lack of work ethic has exasperated me far longer than your arrival.
Aw, man. Okay, so not jealousy, just annoyance. Got it. Well, I guess, yeah, when you have someone that's, like, really straight-laced like Victor, and you kind of have this free spirit that's Zafar, opposite ends of the spectrum, right? He looks away for a moment, considering.
Was there a reason for waking me up? Aside from, me lingering in sleep mode for a bit too long.
Ah, yes. The young master received your gift and asked me to hang it on the wall.
He says nothing more, so I'm left guessing how he feels about it.
And that's,
I am unsure of how to complete that sentence, but I can easily admit that the feeling I have now is that of express bafflement.
His expression shifts as if he's at a complete loss for a moment.
I have worked very hard for the young master all my time here, and yet I've never seen him look so pleased. I am completely and utterly baffled, I admit.
He looks more serious than baffled, but I won't nitpick.
well, I don't know the prince well, or at all, but if I could take a guess, I would say that it's because humans love art. It makes them happy, I think.
I look down at my feet, expression saddened.
Or at least it made my old master happy.
I see.
He slaps his gloved fist into his opposite palm.
I have made my decision.
What? What decision?
I am going to learn to embroider for the positive mental welfare of the young master.
This is a man, this android putting way more on his plate than he needs to. I stare at him in shock as Victor turns to me stiffly, then bows low.
Please teach me your trade. I will be forever indebted to you.
Everyone's just learning from somebody else. I consider for a long moment. I've never taught anyone how to create before. I don't even know if I can. But seeing Victor's earnestness makes it difficult to say no, especially since his reasoning behind it's so genuine. Is this how Zafir felt? Faced with the idea, there's only one thing I can say.
Okay.
Victor stands up straight, looking directly into my eyes.
Thank you. Do you need time to make a list of needed materials for us to begin?
I do. I'll get back to you.
Excellent.
Victor smiles, relief in his multicolored eyes.
You will find that I am the perfect student. I am excellent at picking up most tasks I try, and I am certain that this will be no different.
Oh, have you sewed before?
I...
Have not. He dims for a moment.
Yes, I have. Unsuccessfully. But now that I have a teacher, I am certain things will be different this time. This time for sure.
Gambare! Gambare! He chatters on in a way that I would almost call excited, if not for the fact that it's Victor. He pauses in his speech abruptly, looking at me.
Have I said something strange?
Oh, no, not at all. I've just never seen you so excited. It's a nice change of pace.
Excited?
He considers this, his voice low and distracted.
So, that is what this sensation is.
I stare at him in surprise. Maybe I should just ask him directly.
Victor, you're a rogue, aren't you?
By most definitions, I suppose so.
Okay.
But you can't tell when you're excited? You know, like it's not easy for you to tell when you're anticipating something or just looking forward to it?
I do not consider myself a particularly emotive person.
Even so.
I trail off, perplexed. I thought that being a rogue meant that the androids were just like me in that sense, but there's all kinds of people, so I guess there must be all types of rogues as well.
Emotions are so powerful. I can't help but feel like you're missing out a little.
So be it. I have always been this way.
I tilt my head curiously.
Did you like being excited at least?
He touches his chest lightly.
My heart core is racing. I cannot tell if that is pleasant or not. But it is certainly a departure from my usual countenance.
I clap my hands together excitedly.
I'm sure if you just let yourself go, you'd be able to discover all kinds of feelings.
Victor seems taken aback by my excitement before settling into his usual formality.
I will have to take your word for it.
Taking another moment to incline his head at me, Victor stands straighter.
On that note, I must go, but I anticipate our lessons. Once I have completed my duties, I will check in to see if you have put your list together.
Got it. I'll get started on that right now.
Victor leaves me alone in the room, giving me a moment to think. Just as I begin to consider how exactly I'll teach Victor, a voice chimes out above me.
Arif, hello.
What? Prince, you scared me. Don't do that.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to thank you for the embroidered hoop you gave me. Roses are my favorite flower. How did you know?
The rose garden. I don't know if he can see me, but
Prince, you have an entire garden full of them, imported from off-planet. I would think that they hold some sort of significance to you, no?
Prince is silent for a moment, perhaps considering.
Well, you're not wrong. Still, I am very happy with it. I rarely receive gifts without the asker wanting something in return, so your present especially touched me. Again, thank you.
You're very welcome, Prince. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
The Nightmare Prince is silent, but when he eventually replies, his voice is earnest.
If I can answer it, I will.
I take this chance to ask the one question that's been burning in the back of my mind, considering for a moment how to phrase it.
Why are there so many androids here?
Ah, well, rogues are hard to come by, and because of that, they're worth protecting. I know in our world androids don't have rights, but if there are enough of you one day, then maybe that could change the world we live in. Just a little.
Aww.
I see.
At least, I think I see. I'm not sure how many rogues there are in the world, but my thought is interrupted by the prince's voice.
And really, finding and protecting rogues is more of Roman's thing. I don't do much by comparison. I just help in the little ways I can.
Which in this case means providing shelter for rogues. I think that's pretty great of you, you know?
Oh, well, thank you. Victor is the closest thing I have to family.
Aww.
What about Roman?
That's a bit different. Roman is family already, so he doesn't count.
Ah, okay. What about the other androids, though? Zephyr and Diego?
I do, observe them from time to time.
I shake my head as his voice sputters above me.
I'm too nervous to approach them on my own, though. Even you. The reason I met you was an accident.
I get that, but you should really work on that, though. Watching people is not exactly a great way to connect with them.
Yeah. Victor says that to me, too.
He's quiet for a moment, so I try to cheer him up. After all, he does genuinely sound like he feels bad for his voyeuristic tendencies. I was wondering if they were gonna say that.
Don't worry, one day you'll be close enough.
Yeah, maybe.
The doubt is strong in his voice, but he surprises me with a sudden question.
What do you think of Victor?
I consider it for a moment.
He is strict, but
I think of his kindness when I was too nervous to meet Roman, of the careful way he cleaned between the joints of my fingers.
But what?
surprisingly considerate.
To my surprise, the prince lets out a quiet laugh.
You're right. Sometimes Roman says that Victor is too rules-oriented, but I don't think so. He's always taken care of me since I was young. I'm indebted to him.
I want to know what taking care of means and why he needs care in the first place. But somehow, I have a feeling that this falls under the will not answer umbrella. So instead I ask another question that I think he will answer.
While we're having this little heart-to-heart, I've been meaning to ask you. Do you have a real name? Or should I just keep calling you Prince, Young Master, or whatever other titles you've got?
There's a long silent moment. So long that I almost think that this is a no-reply question as well. But then he answers quietly.
You can call me Q.
I smile. I resist the urge to say that's a letter, not a name, but... well, it's certainly better than Nightmare Prince. For those of you guys who don't know, Chronicle 1, you can romance the Nightmare Prince, or you can romance Victor. So, I think this is really sweet. So if you're like really interested in the Nightmare Prince and you're like, oh man, you know, we're finally getting, no. You can start romancing him way earlier and like talking to him way earlier. He's really, really sweet. That's a route I played on my own. You guys would love it, honestly. If you like what you're seeing here, it's so much better in his own route.
Got it. Q. Thank you. I'm a Rev. You already know that, but an introduction doesn't hurt.
So go forth, acquire the game, and find out for yourself? Hell yeah. 100%.
Nice to meet you as well.
There's a silence that tells me that Q has left, so I continue making my mental list of materials needed to teach Victor to create something for Q. I can't wait. Let's see if we can do one more little bit and then we'll call it a night. If you guys do buy the game, can you do me a favor and just like leave a review of what you think about it? It really, really helps the dev team, and it just kind of goes to show like how great our community is and like trying games and just, you know, giving good feedback like we always do in these streams. If you do get the game, please let me know. Like, I would love to know, like, the Kiss Kiss Fall in Love in the Discord section, you guys can let me know what games you picked up and, like, you know, I'm liking this route, you know, maybe put some spoilers, like, just in case kind of thing, but please, I would love to know what otomes you guys are playing. I stare at the painstakingly prepared room in shock. I wonder how long it took him to put this together. When did he even do this?
You know, when I said I wasn't sure about where we should work, I wasn't actually thinking that you'd get an entire section of the house remodeled for me.
Victor lifts an eyebrow.
A single room can hardly be considered as an entire section of the house. Besides, does it not please you?
Oh, it's very pleasing. I'm just a little overwhelmed right now. I've never had a room all of my own. And now I have two. So, thank you, Victor.
Think nothing of it.
Now, shall we begin?
Yes.
So first things first, we have to grab our supplies. There's this phrase, mise en place. It's usually used for cooking, but it applies here. Before we start, we've got to gather all our ingredients.
Victor looks at me, nodding seriously and understanding.
In this case, we need 5 things. Some fabric, needles, thread, a hoop, and some tracing supplies. Namely a light table and manual pens.
I motion for Victor to follow me as I walk over to the wall of fabrics.
So first, let's choose your fabric. Here are options.
Victor looks carefully.
The young master's favorite color is blue, so perhaps this cloth will be best.
He selects a pale pastel blue material.
Perfect. Now let's put it on the light table.
Yes.
Victor obeys my instructions, then looks at me intently.
Now we have to choose a pattern.
A pattern.
Yes. For example, I chose roses to embroider on the corners. You can choose anything you think he will like.
Victor's brow lifts.
Q?
Just a nickname for question. Because I have a lot of questions about him.
Ooh, nice save. I'm not sure why lying is my first resort, but I do want to stay focused on the task at hand. Victor looks like he chooses to believe me, which I'm grateful for.
But yes, choose something he likes.
When he was young, his parents would often take him to the seaside before.
Before what? I'm curious to ask why they stopped, but I know Victor wouldn't answer anyway.
A beach scene might be a little complicated for your first time. How about something a little simpler?
Well, the young master does like dogs. They're impossible to import from Earth now, but when he was young, he would often ask me for a puppy.
There's an affectionate twinkle in Victor's eyes.
Well, then you've got it. A puppy space is a perfect place to begin.
I search online to find a practice image and send it to the printer. Right away, the simple image of a small dog with its tongue lolling comes out. Taking his cloth, I place it on the light table along with the design.
Next, you have to trace the pattern onto the fabric.
I demonstrate quickly with my own fabric, then hand the pen to Victor. He hunches over the light table, tracing in earnest.
Done.
I look at the traced image in confusion. Does he know what tracing is?
It looks a bit different.
Yes,
I see what you mean. Let me try again.
Oh my god, I'm gonna. Oh no. Come on, baby. Come on! He tries again, but the results aren't much better.
I'm not sure why I'm having such trouble.
I'm not sure either, but. Well, he did say delicate things weren't his skill.
Don't worry, Victor. You can just use mine for now. We'll practice drawing and tracing in a bit. For now, let me show you how to thread a needle.
Threading the needle takes much longer than it should, in spite of Victor's attempts to thread it again and again. I offer to do it for him, but...
No, I can do this.
Just go! He stubbornly rejects my help every step of the way.
I've allowed you to trace my pattern, affix my hoop, and separate the embroidery floss. The least I could do is thread my own needle.
Well, I don't want you to feel that I'm rushing you, but you have been trying for about a half hour. It's your first time, so difficulties are to be expected, Victor. Besides, there's nothing wrong with accepting help.
Victor looks down at the needle and thread in his hands, then painstakingly holds them out for me to take. When I do, I can't help but ask him.
Victor, are you okay? I can let you keep trying if you like.
I really like this voice actress, by the way. Her delivery of lines is so flipping good. I don't know. Like, there's just something in the way of, like, inquisitive Arev to teach me how to make people feel the way about my stuff that I felt about your music, and this, like, teaching Arev that's like, it's okay. I mean, like, it's like, I don't know. She delivers them in such beautiful, I don't know how to explain it. I love it. She's so good. She's really fucking good. To my great surprise, Victor raises his voice in reply.
I just do not understand. I am very good at household tasks, delegation, and management. Creating things seems to have bested me. I feel
disappointed, useless.
I don't know how to describe the sensation at all.
I know the sensation. I also cannot name it. It dawns on me. That pent-up voice, those clenched fists.
Victor, are you feeling frustrated?
Yep.
Frustrated?
He considers for a moment.
I will have to consider what that means.
I smile at him, hoping to cheer him up.
It's okay, Victor. Don't worry. Art makes people happy, and creating it is supposed to be relaxing. When it's not relaxing, when it's stressful even, humans usually take a break.
Sure.
Lenthus always did anyway.
I set aside the needle and thread.
We're not human, but we have feelings too, so why don't we take a break, Victor?
Victor's reply is insistent.
I am never stressed. I simply dislike that I am unable to complete this task.
Well, I'm going to insist that we take one anyway.
He trails off, looking pained.
I enjoyed this time together, to an extent. But I will return to this task when I am feeling less frustrated, as you put it. For now, I am going to go clean something.
Aww. I let out a quiet breath, smiling worriedly.
Whatever helps you relax, then.
Victor stalks off as I place the needle into a pincushion, reflecting on what's just happened. It occurs to me what I could have said to him to comfort him. The same advice he'd given me. There's no need to be ashamed of one's limitations, Victor. I wonder if such words would have helped him, or if they would have sounded derisive to him instead. Derisive. Either way, if my student gets too frustrated to learn, where will we be? I'll definitely have to tell him to pace himself the next time we have a lesson. If there even is a next time. Okay. So, we got a little bit more into Victor. He really just wants to do nice things for the Nightmare Prince, for Q. Yeah, save. I think it's really sweet that he just wants to do things for the Nightmare Prince. I have a feeling there's going to be some kind of moment at the end where Victor's like, I can't do these things, and Q is just going to be like, I never needed you to do those things. Because Q has only talked about Victor in super nice ways. Like, he's just like my family. He's always been looking out for me and things like that. And I have a feeling Victor's not going to be able to do the things that he wants to do, like with the embroidery, and Q is just going to be like, I never needed that from you. You gave me all of these things. Arev gives me this because that's her present to me. You've given me, A, B, C, D, taking care of me and, keeping the house clean and things like that. And I just think it's really sweet. I really hope there's some more, I hope there's more dynamics instead of just Arev and one person. I hope we get a couple characters in a scene together, basically. But YouTube, that is it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching if you made it this far. Appreciate you. And with that, I hope you have a great day, night, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.